Please stand if you are able and join us in the singing of O Canada. Please be seated. Good afternoon, invited guests, parents, family members, industry partners, alumni, faculty, staff, and especially our graduates. My name is Angie Clark. I'm the Director of Student Affairs for the Marine Institute campus, and I will be your MC for this afternoon's ceremony. I would like to officially welcome you to the 2017 Marine Institute graduation ceremony. Before we get underway, I would like to take a moment to introduce our stage guests for this afternoon. Starting on my immediate left, Leslie Noftel, Institute Registrar. Bernard Davis, MHA Virginia Waters, Pleasantville, and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Health and Community Services. Glenn Blackwood, Vice President, Memorial University, with responsibility for the Marine Institute. Dr. Rob Shea, Associate Vice President, Academic and Student Affairs for the Marine Institute. Ms. Iris Penton, Chair, Memorial University's Board of Regents. Margie Allen, Vice Chair, Marine Institute's Industry Advisory Committee, and also a member of Memorial's Board of Regents. Nancy Smith, Associate Registrar, Admissions for the Marine Institute. On the second row, again starting from my left, Dr. Cecilia Reynolds, Deputy Provost Students, Associate Vice President, Academic, Undergraduate Studies. Jennifer Porter, Interim University Registrar. Christian Sampson, the Marine Institute Student Union President. Chad Mayo, our student speaker for this afternoon, and a soon-to-be graduate from the Marine Engineering Systems Design Program. Gary Bradshaw, Associate Vice President, Administration and Finance for the Marine Institute campus. Carrie Bonnell, Head of the School of Fisheries. Kathy Dutton, Head of the School of Maritime Studies. And Paul Brett, Head of the School of Ocean Technology. In starting this ceremony, we would like to respectfully recognize the Indigenous peoples of Newfoundland and Labrador, including the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk, who acknowledge the island of Newfoundland as their ancestral homelands. We would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunatuavut and the Innu of Nunatsianen and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. As Newfoundland and Labrador's only university, Memorial has a special responsibility to serve all people. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Every year I have the pleasure to do this, I comment on my great view from here, and today is no different. There is something very special about seeing lots of big smiles from our soon-to-be graduates. There are not many days on our campus that are as special as graduation day. Graduates, you deserve today. And it is a day that you should be very proud of. You did it. You made it. You persisted. Your perseverance through many hours of hard work, significant class time, technical training and assignments, too numerous to mention, will be fully recognized this afternoon in the awarding of your technical certificates, diplomas of technology, advanced diplomas, and postgraduate certificates. Much of the research in higher education indicates that the journey through a post-secondary program is a transformational experience, and that who you are today, as soon-to-be graduates, is much different than the individuals you were when you started your respective programs. You undoubtedly have grown, not only in knowledge, but as individuals, as you have been challenged to complete the academic, technical, and experiential aspects of your respective programs. We do hope that as you reflect on your experience at MI, that you feel there has been value in the time that you have spent here, and that your educational experience has allowed you to develop a vision and perspective on what your career will look like, and the enthusiasm, skills, and knowledge to embrace the wonderful opportunities that lie ahead. Many staff, faculty, and management are in attendance to be a part of your celebration today, and it is important for you to know that the Institute community is very proud of you. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Bernard Davis, MHA Virginia Waters Pleasantville and Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Health and Community Service to bring greetings on behalf of the province. A graduate of Memorial University's Bachelor of Commerce program, MHA Bernard Davis served as the Executive Director and Program Coordinator of the Church Lads Brigade and an elected councillor at the City of St. John's City Hall before entering provincial politics. He is a lifelong resident of St. John's, a committed community volunteer, and a representative who has continuously worked to improve the community that he calls home.
I only had a couple of minutes here. I must go on a bit longer with the bio she read. So, good afternoon, Mr. Blackwood, Ms. Penton, Dr. Shea, Ms. Allen, distinguished guests, most importantly, students, faculty and staff, ladies and gentlemen. When I was contemplating the greetings here today, I looked at some videos of some individuals who have done greetings before. And I looked at Will Farrell's greetings to a university that he got an honorary degree at, and I looked at Denzel Washington's. And one thing that's common between the two that you're not going to see today, it's not going to be as invigorating as they are. I'm not as interesting as they are. And the other thing is it's definitely not going to be as long as they are. So we want to get to the hardware which you've earned so graciously over the last number of years. I want to thank Marine Institute for the invitation to speak here today. And it is my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of Minister Jerry Byrne, Minister of Advanced Education Skills, Labour and Employment, Labour, and extend our congratulations to each and every graduate on their accomplishment here today. The Marine Institute is the largest facility of its kind in Canada and is providing you an education that is recognized globally. The Marine Institute, facilities, strong educational programs, and highly qualified people continue to advance the Institute's global reputation for ocean excellence. Nearly every aspect of life in Newfoundland and Labrador has been shaped in some way by the ocean. This long-standing history has helped shape the Marine Institute's role in the province and its position globally as a maritime centre for excellence. The recognition you receive today is a testament to your dedication, skill, talent, and academic achievement. We are gathered to honour the hard work and dedicated effort that you put forward each and every day. Increasing the availability of highly trained individuals is a top priority of our government, and we are proud to support Marine Institute and its students. Once again, as I said it was going to be short, I would like to offer my deepest congratulations to each and every one of you on your achievements and wish you the best of luck in your career. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis, for those greetings, and thank you to the Government of Newfoundland for their continued support of the Institute. I would now like to call upon Mr. Glenn Blackwood, Vice President for Memorial University with responsibility for the Marine Institute, to deliver his graduation address.
Thank you, Angie, and thank you, Mr. Davis. The support is greatly appreciated. This is a wonderful day for all of you, but a wonderful, wonderful day for all of us as well. So congratulations to the graduating class of 2017. I would like to acknowledge Ms. Iris Petton, Chair of our Board of Regents at Memorial University. Iris is also a long-standing member in a previous life of our Industry Advisory Board as well, and I've known her for many years. Ms. Margie Allen, now with the Marine Institute Industry Advisory Board, and Mr. Kevin Anderson, who I saw earlier. They give a lot of their time to the Institute, largely focus on the programs and the activities that you all benefit from. So I greatly appreciate their support. Mr. Davis, we talked about the support of the government for the Institute. It's greatly appreciated. The stage guest, there's a lot of people involved in producing this graduating class, many of whom aren't with us today as well. But everybody on this stage has had some role in that, and we greatly appreciate their efforts. To the faculty, the management and staff, the scholarship donors, and there's too many of them to mention, who give to you, because you keep popping up, as Captain Sidine says. And I've known many of you through the scholarship ceremonies. Also, the industry partners, there's about 3 rows of them, so I won't identify them. They know who they are, and we work quite closely with them. They're probably meeting you after you get off the stage. So thank you for the support we have from industry. It's greatly appreciated. And I'd also said I'd give a shout out to Mr. Gary Corbett from the town of Holyrood, because we are building a marine base in Holyrood, and the support we've had from the town is incredible. So welcome, Gary, as well. Also, all the families of these graduates, this is your day as well as theirs. My son graduated from here last year, and that was sort of a little bit different because I didn't want to talk to him. But I know some of our own employees have sons or daughters graduating today. So it's a special day for you, so make sure you enjoy it. I'd also like to give a special welcome to Mr. Les O'Reilly and Mr. Dave Vardy, 2 former leaders of this institution. There's only been 5 or 6 of us in 53 years, so it is a great job. And to Mr. Peter Fisher, Dr. Peter Fisher. I see Peter sitting there by Les. Peter and Les and Dave have given a lot to the Marine Institute over their careers, and it's great to see them back here on this special day. So welcome home. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you to our graduates for letting me share in your moment. And this is your moment. It's a moment you will never forget. My speech you will forget very shortly, but not the moment. That's a special time for you. This year, for the 5th year in a row, we have graduated a student from every province in Canada and also from 15 other countries. Our undergraduate degrees and master degrees convocated 2 weeks ago, and they and the nearly 8,000 students we teach in industry certification courses are included in your graduation booklet. The reason we include everyone who graduates or does a course from us is because we believe that education, whether it's a 1-day course or a 4-year diploma or a master's degree, is important, and you'll find that out for the rest of your life. I've had the honor of watching thousands of graduates receive their diplomas and degrees over the past 11 years. What I've learned is that you should take the time today not only to celebrate what you've done, but what you're going to do next. Because you now possess one of the most important tools anyone could ever have to make a difference to yourself and to the world around you, and that's your education. Your MI education, no matter what the field, enables you to embrace opportunity, face challenges, explore new ways of doing things, and become agents of change. How that happens and how you do it depends on you. But in the words of Dr. Bob McDonnell, host of Quirks and Quarks, and a recent honorary graduate of Memorial, he said, "It's important that you start, but it's critical that you finish." Lots of people start lots of things. It's the people that finish that we get to celebrate. And today, you are finished. You're not finished your education, but you're finished a critical part of your ongoing education. Education is the most important investment that you will ever make. To quote the late B.B. King, the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can ever take it away from you. And he was right. And I would also like to add that the return on your investment over your lifetime can never be measured. The journey that will take you from the Marine Institute today, and on that journey you will be faced with many challenges and opportunities, much like those challenges and opportunities facing Newfoundland and Labrador today. There is uncertainty and transition, but there is also success. And there's also much to admire and a great deal to celebrate in who we are, what we have, and what we will accomplish as a people. The Hebron gravity-based structure is one of the heaviest movable man-made objects on the planet. And it's just been installed at its new location on the Grand Banks a couple of days ago to begin the production from our fourth oil field. This is an incredible accomplishment for everyone involved, including our team here at the Center for Marine Simulation that were involved in simulating the tow-out, and our School of Ocean Technology that worked with Fugro to do the mapping of the corridor. Hard work by thousands of people over many years. So we all find success in our work at many levels. For example, our very own Eastern Edge robotics team this weekend is heading to Long Beach, California to defend its world title in the MATE ROV competition. And an ROV, for those of you who don't know, is a remote operated vehicle. And if you haven't seen this team and what they do, it's absolutely amazing. Last year at NASA, they finished first in the world. And I have every confidence that they're going to repeat. I was watching them practice a couple days ago. They're quite good. Also, our team at the Center for Aquaculture and Seafood Development, working as part of a team with the industry, to develop robotic crab processing machineries, never done before. And our ocean mapping, soon-to-be graduate Sarah Walsh, who sailed the Arctic with students on ice, and her story is on our website. These are some of the extraordinary accomplishments of our people, and I won't list them, but you get the idea. It's best in the world, it's breaking new ground, and it's doing things for the first time and doing them the best. These accomplishments and becoming world-class are the result of years of study, preparation, and hard work. Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Outliers, said that 10,000 hours is the magic number for greatness. And that's the amount of time that you need to master a subject. People have disputed the actual number, but everyone agrees there are no shortcuts to success. In fact, a 4-year program demands around 8,000 hours if you dedicate 40 hours a week to your studies, plus your work terms, plus your other activities. You will have mastered your activity by the time you graduate. So yes, these are challenging times, but to borrow from a nautical phrase, smooth waters do not make skillful sailors. In these times, we have the opportunity to make ourselves stronger and prove we can do whatever we set our minds to. As newly minted graduates, it's your time to make great things happen. I believe that each of you will change the world for the better through your individual contributions, and will add to the overall prosperity and well-being of this province or wherever you choose to live. Whether you studied nautical science, marine environmental, food technology, marine engineering system design, ocean mapping, just to name a few, you have a solid footing you need to move our society forward. Like you, organizations move forward as well. This past year was an historic one for the Fisheries and Marine Institute of Memorial, with the development and approval of a PhD program in fisheries science, the first PhD program developed and offered by the Marine Institute in its 53-year history. In a few years, I look forward to congratulating the first graduates from that program, as well as 2 other new master's programs in fisheries science. But the highlight of the year for me was the announcement of the new $100 million Oceans Frontier Institute funding to Memorial and Dalhousie to position Canada as first in oceans research in the world. And to have the Fisheries and Marine Institute of Memorial lead Canada in fisheries research, which is the module that we will lead, with the goal of positioning us as a leader in fisheries research and education globally, I think that's not bad for the Fisheries College. We've come a long way in a short period of time. And make no mistake, 53 years to the crowd in the front row seems like a long time. To the crowd in the back row is only a flash. But it is a major accomplishment. It's also been a year of growth for our people with leadership roles on the national and international stage. Many of them are Marine Institute graduates, and they are leaders in their respective fields. Today, you join that group of MI graduates and the broader family of Memorial University graduates who were educated right here and play vital roles in our community and our society. As the newest alumni of MI and Memorial, you have an amazing opportunity before you. Tomorrow, you will start a new chapter in your story. You'll take what you've learned, you'll share it, you'll have the chance to be a leader, to make a difference, and I encourage you to embrace this opportunity. So let me close with one of my favorite quotes. Education is a journey, not a destination. Or as I like to say, education is a voyage, not a port of call. So never stop learning, because your educational voyage will not end today. You've gone into technology. Technology changes rapidly. You will require lifelong learning more so than any other graduates. So I think it's critical that you recognize that at the start. So I congratulated you on being finished, but I'm sorry you're not. So today, as you celebrate with family and friends, we recognize that you will need to come back over the years, and we look forward to that. So take the time to reflect on how far you've come and what you've learned, and as I said earlier, take time to celebrate what you're going to do. And don't forget to thank those who have supported you all along that way. These are the people who will continue to work with you as you embark on your next voyage. And in doing that, thanking the people that support you, I always do. And today, I'd like to thank a person who's central to your success and the success of MI. Miss Angie Clark does so much for this organization and so much for each of you. I would like you, as Director of Student Affairs, I would like you to join me in thanking her for everything she does. I'd also encourage you to stay connected with us. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know where you've been, and more importantly, share your successes with us. Congratulations on your hard work, and welcome to our Marine Institute alumni family. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenn. It becomes clear that requesting copies of notes get modified after you get your final copy. Thank you. Glenn has noted several significant advances to the academic scope of the Marine Institute programs. Those positive developments have been fostered by the tremendous work of our outstanding faculty members. In an effort to celebrate our faculty, the Institute has installed a teaching award. I would like to welcome Dr. Rob Shea, MI's Associate Vice President, Academic and Student Affairs, to present MI's 2017 Teaching Award.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So while Glenn said that nobody's going to remember his presentation tomorrow, that you're going to remember this event, there's a test on my presentation tomorrow. No, all your tests are over from us, so that's why all the smiles and all the excitement. But as you well know, a lot of people have been involved in your education over the last number of years. None more so probably than your instructors. So the Marine Institute 3 years ago decided to establish a teaching award. I came to the Marine Institute about 4 years ago this July 4th actually, and one of the things I recognized was that there wasn't an award to recognize outstanding scholarship in the area of teaching. So it was immediately we got a committee, as all universities do, to get together to figure out what that award would look like. This is our third time presenting it, and I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction, then we're going to call up the award winner to receive the award. So it's an honor and a privilege to present to you the 2017 recipient of the Marine Institute's Teaching Award. Just to give you some perspective about what the expectations are for this award. The Teaching Award was created 3 years ago to recognize an outstanding individual who has gone above and beyond in the pursuit of excellence, innovation, and leadership in teaching at the Marine Institute. This year's recipient has demonstrated these qualities numerous times. It is difficult to put into a short introduction, and I will be short, all of the wonderful testimonials from other faculty and students and staff, but let me just give you a few. So, from another faculty member, and I quote, "I have never before been more impressed by a faculty member's enthusiasm and passion for teaching. This individual applies industry enthusiasm and creativity to their work in the classroom and the development of online courses. This individual is dedicated, enthusiastic, organized, and effective at enhancing all aspects of a student's development. And a comment from a student, and I quote, his words, not mine. Typically, lectures here at MI can be quite dry. And then he goes on to say, especially when the material wasn't all that stimulating. I think that this is a perfect engagement of where an instructor can make dry and good curriculum very stimulating and very engaging. The student goes on to say, this faculty member is extremely approachable, helpful, and compassionate, and challenges us all to put more effort into our assignments. This faculty member sets the bar high for students and expects all of us to reach it. I can honestly say this instructor's course was one of the courses where I've gained the most knowledge from in my 4 years at the Marine Institute. And the final comment, justifiably so, goes to another student, and I quote, since my first course with this instructor, I've always appreciated their help and I've admired their intelligence, dedication, and work ethic. I wish I could have taken more courses with this instructor because they provide the best learning experience. This instructor is one of those teachers that make a student wish they had for every course. I wish I could have taken more courses with this instructor. Madam Chair of the Board of Regents, Mr. Vice President, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the 2017 Marine Institute Teaching Award, Ms. Valerie Piercy. Rob is shy.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shea, and congratulations, Valerie. There is a depth to the MI community that is inclusive to our students, faculty, and staff. And today affords us a wonderful opportunity to celebrate and highlight excellence in all three of those categories. The next award will be presented for the first time this afternoon. I now would like to ask Glenn Blackwood to come forward to present the 2017 Marine Institute Award for Exceptional Service.
Thank you, Angie. There's an expression that says it takes a community to raise a child, not take your children, but it takes everyone at this institute to make graduation a success. So my sincere congratulations to Miss Valerie Piercy. She's a star that doesn't like the spotlight. She sort of slipped back into the background again. And graduates, you've spent countless hours with our faculty members throughout your program, and you know what they do for you. But I think you would agree with me when I say that our staff members of our schools, centers, administrative and academic offices, and on our vessels have made an invaluable contribution to your education as well. Their work is not always experienced in the classroom, but in their knowledge and efforts that enrich the life of those of who they engage with within the Institute and also enhance our programs and our services. Individually and collectively, they work with our students, our faculty, our industrial clients, our education and research partners, our alumni, our visitors, other employees, and collaborators from all over the world. Their work is vital to advancing the work and reputation of the Institute. So this year, we move to ensure that their exceptional work is celebrated and recognized as well. For the first time, we are proud to introduce the Marine Institute Award for Exceptional Service. This award will be presented each year to a staff member who has demonstrated commitment of excellence in their role and exceeds the expectations or performs actions of significant merit that are over and above what would be normally expected. Steve Jobs once said, "The only way to do great work is to love what you do." Our first recipient of this award is an example of this. He has been with the Institute for over 23 years, and he's always given more than his time to this organization. As one of his nominators wrote, he is a constant contributor to the well-being of the Marine Institute community. Through his work on our Sustainability Committee, he initiates and participates in activities and practices which ensure our campus has a healthy environment for students and employees. He reaches for new ideas and leads our efforts of finding ways in which we can be more environmentally responsible as a campus. But it's the passion behind those efforts that I think fuels him. He is doing more than just collecting recyclables and keeping them out of the landfill. He's putting that resource to good use by generating funds for the University Food Bank. As Vice President of the Food Bank Committee, he's often found organizing their drives, collecting, distributing food and toys throughout the year, making sure that students and their families are cared for. That care extends to the student assistants he supervises. He engages with them, taking time to get to know them while he trains them in their tasks, giving them a sense of belonging to a team. All of his nominators remarked that many of his students' assistants seek him out on graduation day and long after to thank him for his mentorship and to include him with their families, reflecting on the consideration he's shown them in their time on campus. It is these personal connections that he has forged which are priceless and should be celebrated. When it comes down to it, he represents that rare combination as a mentor to young people, a leader in environmental sustainability, and a person who inspires others to contribute to a larger effort that benefit everyone. Plus, he's a person you love to see coming. I think one of his nominators summed it up perfectly when I quote, "He exemplifies the respect and concern for people that is so prevalent at the Institute." I couldn't agree more. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, the Chair of our Board of Regents, the very first recipient of the Marine Institute Award for Exceptional Service, Mr. Brian Quinn.
Thank you, Glenn, and congratulations, Brian. Speaking of exceptional staff, there are many people involved in making the ceremony run smoothly, and the team in the Office of the Registrar do incredible work to ensure the graduates are all approved and prepared in advance of today's event. I would now like to call upon Ms. Leslie Noftel, Registrar here at the Marine Institute, to present the candidates for graduation.
Thank you, Angie. Good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty and staff of the Marine Institute, friends and relatives of today's graduates. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of announcing for you the names of the candidates for the Marine Institute Advanced Diplomas, Postgraduate Certificates, Diplomas of Technology, Technician Diplomas, and Technical Certificate Programs. This afternoon's presentation of certificates and diplomas will be made by the Head of School of Fisheries, Mr. Kerry Bonnell, the Head of School of Maritime Studies, Ms. Catherine Dutton, the Head of School of Ocean Technology, Mr. Paul Brett, and the Vice President of Memorial University for the Marine Institute, Mr. Glenn Blackwood. I'd ask that you please hold your applause until the presentation of certificates and diplomas is complete for each school. So I now invite Mr. Kerry Bonnell and Mr. Glenn Blackwood to present to the candidates from the School of Fisheries. For the Advanced Diploma in Food Safety, Katie Doyle from St. John's. Christine Meline Farrell from Portugal Cove. For the Diploma of Technology in Marine Environmental Technology, Elizabeth Brennan from Lawn. Brittany Dalton from Gander. Mark Diamond from Truro, Nova Scotia. Alicia Jackson from Cavendish Trinity Bay. Maria Savage from St. John's. Taylor Shepherd from Paradise. Yolanda Verge from Harbour Grace. For the Advanced Diploma in Integrated Coastal and Ocean Management, Kaylee Elizabeth Ryan from Kippens. Kelly Elizabeth Turner from Conception Bay South. For the Advanced Diploma in Sustainable Aquaculture, Laura Purchase from Norris Arm. For the Advanced Diploma in Water Quality, Samantha Murphy from Bay Roberts. This concludes the presentation of certificates and diplomas for the School of Fisheries. Thank you, Mr. Barnett. I now invite Ms. Kathy Doughton to join Mr. Blackwood to present to the candidates from the School of Maritime Studies. For the Technical Certificate in Fire Rescue, Brandon Snow from St. John's. For the Diploma of Technology in Marine Engineering, Jeremy Burt from Glenwood. Garrett Fitzgerald from Richmond Hill, Ontario. Devin Hatcher from Beaver Brook. Leif Hickey from Dunville. Connor McPherson from Aurora, Ontario. Jonathan Mayo from Marystown. Brent Rogers from Gambo. Simon Sharples from Victoria, British Columbia. Tyler Strickland from Scarborough, Ontario. Daniel Williams from New Germany, Nova Scotia. For the Diploma of Technology in Marine Engineering Systems Design, Akambami Kayode from Nigeria. Allison Bailey from Mount Pearl. Andrew Blake from Paradise. Jarrett Dawson from Bay Roberts. PJ Dobbin from Paradise. Nicholas Harris from St. John's. Jeff Hollings from Marine Engineering Systems Design at Paradise. Chad Mayo from Marystown. Neil Orr from Mount Pearl. Aaron Thorne from Torbay. Matthew Williams from Orangeville, Ontario. For the Diploma of Technology in Nautical Science, Joshua Chaffee from Paradise. Benjamin Cook from Ottawa, Ontario. Blair Daw from Bay Roberts. Kyle Downey from St. John's. Lucas Edwards from Lawn. Benjamin Elliott from Appleton. Carl Fenley from Muse. Nicholas Grenham from Comfort Cove, Newstead. Ryan House from River of Ponds. Jeffrey Oliver from Victoria, British Columbia. Tevin Plummer from St. Catherine, Jamaica. Jessica Robert from St. Lawrence, Newfoundland. Ian Swan from Hubli, Nova Scotia. For the Diploma of Technology in Naval Architecture, Donovan Bird from Marystown. Laura Osman from Mount Pearl. Daniel Pitts from Cannings Cove. Devin Suley from the Gouls. Cole Taylor from Calgary, Alberta. Derek Thorne from St. John's. This concludes the presentation of certificates and diplomas for the School of Maritime Studies. Thank you, Ms. Dalton. I now invite Mr. Paul Brett to present to the candidates from the School of Ocean Technology. For the Technician Diploma in Remotely Operated Vehicles, Adam Budgell from Paradise. Richard Chislett from the Goulds. Catherine Ducey from Mount Pearl. Joshua Evans from Harbour Grace. Kelly Linehan from Mount Carmel. For the Diploma of Technology in Ocean Mapping, Ernest Hines from CBS. Stephanie Snow from CBS. Sarah Elizabeth Walsh from Mount Pearl. This concludes the presentation of certificates and diplomas for the School of Ocean Technology. So I present to you the graduating class of 2017. We now move to the presentation of awards and medals. The first award to be presented is the Chancellor's Award. It is awarded to the student of the graduating class who has demonstrated the greatest leadership contribution to student life and other areas of the community during his or her years at the Marine Institute. So I now invite Mr. Glenn Blackwood to present the Chancellor's Award for the Marine Institute to this year's recipient, Sarah Walsh. Next, we will present the Marine Institute Bronze Medals. In recognition of academic excellence, the Marine Institute awards a bronze medal to the student achieving the highest overall average in the final year of each diploma and technical certificate program. The Marine Institute Bronze Medals for academic achievement will be presented by Mr. Blackwood. For the Technician Diploma in ROV, Adam Budgell. For Marine Engineering Technology, Leif Hickey. For Marine Engineering Systems Design, Chad Mayo. For Marine Environmental Technology, Yolanda Verge. For nautical science this year, we actually had a tie, so it's Joshua Chaffee. And Nicholas Grenham. And for the Advanced Diploma in Food Safety, Christine Meline Farrell. For the Advanced Diploma in Integrated Coastal and Ocean Management, Kelly Elizabeth Turner. For the Advanced Diploma in Sustainable Aquaculture, Laura Purchase. For Ocean Mapping, Sarah Elizabeth Walsh. We have one more diploma that we have to award, a student that just arrived late, but better late than never, we say. So for the postgraduate certificate in quality management, Youssef Oladad Ahmed from St. John's. Thank you, Mr. Blackwood, and congratulations to all of our medal winners. We now move to our final presentation for the day. The Governor-General's Academic Medal was first awarded in 1873 by the Earl of Dufferin, who served as Governor-General. It has since become one of the most prestigious awards that a student in a Canadian educational institution may receive. The Governor-General's Collegiate Bronze Academic Medal is awarded annually to the student who graduates at the post-secondary diploma level with the highest academic standing in his or her institution. I now invite Mr. Blackwood to present the Governor-General's Academic Medal for the Marine Institute to this year's recipient, Chad Mayo. Let me be the first, on behalf of the Marine Institute family, to congratulate all of our graduates, award and medal winners today. With the future at hand, may you continue to pursue excellence. May wisdom and insight guide you along your journey. Celebrate this special achievement and follow your dreams wherever they may take you. Congratulations and all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I would now like to introduce a new Marine Institute grad. Is it too early to say alumni? Chad Mayo, who has obviously, as you've just seen, just graduated from Marine Engineering Systems Design. Chad will address graduation on behalf of the class of 2017.
All right, thanks to Angie. What a good looking bunch we got here, right? It's good to see everybody. Welcome all to the graduation for the Marine Institute class of 2017. After 3 years of late nights, countless Tim's runs, unexpected sunrises, it feels incredible to represent the Marine Institute as this year's graduate speaker. As we move forward, it's important to remember all the lessons we've learned in our brief time here at the Marine Institute. The Marine Institute has been an integral part of the beginning of my career. It definitely has been a long and difficult journey that has put me under a lot of stress. This stress has forced me to change and adapt. It's allowed me to build resilience and work ethic that I will take forward into my career. I've recently been hired on with Fleetway Incorporated, a branch of J.D. Irving. I distinctly remember one of my supervisors stating how valuable students from the Marine Institute are because we are so committed to quality work. The people who come from MI always stay the latest, will work the hardest, and make sure that the project is done on time and correctly. There are a few special recognitions I want to point out in my speech. First of all, one of the things that I've noticed since coming to the Marine Institute is how close you become with the people around you. When it comes to my teachers, there's no Miss O'Keefe, Mr. Strobridge, or you don't say, hello, Mr. Wareham. You'll say, there's Tracy, there's Kev, or you'll say, what are you at, Mark? The instructors in the school take a personal investment into seeing you succeed and bring passion and heart into each lesson. It's important to acknowledge the role that our teachers have played in getting us here today. One of the biggest things I've learned since coming to the school is how close a group of absolute strangers can become over such a short period of time here. Short being relative, of course. Your classmates are the people you see day in, day out. They are the people you come to depend on throughout the program. In my 3 years here, I've watched my class grow and develop as a unit. The nights spent together in the third year Marine Engineering System Design homeroom were some of the toughest nights of my life, but I always had my classmates to go through it with me. Even though some of their mannerisms can drive me crazy, like Nick's thunderous foot tapping or Josh's puns, I would never change it for the world. It's very important to acknowledge the role that our classmates have given us in getting here. For many of us, coming to the Marine Institute may be the first time away from home. However, I come to learn that the support from my loved ones has stayed strong regardless of the distance. My parents have helped me so much along this last 3 years. I've called them on my most frustrating nights, and then again on my most rewarding nights. For many of us, it's not necessarily parents, but siblings. Congratulations to Jonathan Mayo, who's also here graduating today. Grandparents, relatives, friends, mentors, and anyone who offers support. It's important to acknowledge the role that our loved ones have played in getting us here today. Finally, as our journey comes to an end, it is important to acknowledge the person who's played the most important role here in graduating. That is you, fellow graduates. Support from our teachers, classmates, family, and friends have played a vital role in our success. But in the end, it was you who stood up that extra half an hour, had that extra cup of coffee, or made that final proofread, make sure your project was just oh so right. It was you that made mistakes and failed, only to learn from them and succeed. I'm proud to represent the graduating class as the student speaker of 2017. I want to say thank you to everyone who's helped me get here. It is my pleasure to acknowledge the role that each of you have played in getting me here today. Good luck in all your future endeavors. I am confident that people sitting in this room are going to go on to do great things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chad. A really great job. I'm always so impressed by our student speaker and their eagerness to provide remarks and reflection on behalf of all of their peers, independent of program or length of time that you've all spent together. I'm fortunate in my role in student affairs to deal with students quite a bit, sometimes not on the best days, but sometimes like today on really great days. I had a student recently say to me that smooth seas don't make for skillful sailors, and I know Glenn used this quote earlier. And I'm going to guess that more than our soon-to-be sailors have encountered some rough waters along your journey to today. During those challenging times, the faculty and staff here at MI have not been the only individuals to help you along your way. The tremendous support that your families and support networks have provided you is significant. They have been behind you every step of the way. Today, those supporters are literally behind you. I would like to ask all the graduates to stand, turn and face your families and supporters, and offer them a round of applause in appreciation of their support. Graduates, as a collective group, before today you may not have had anything in common. But as of right now, independent of your past experiences, programs of study, or your permanent addresses, you join over 50 years of alumni of the Fisheries and Marine Institute of Memorial University of Newfoundland. As alumni, your next journey begins now, and we encourage you to embrace it with the same commitment and resilience that has contributed to the success we are celebrating today. Please stay in touch as we look forward to seeing what's next for all of you. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and management of the Marine Institute, I offer you our collective congratulations. Before we close the ceremony, there are a couple of housekeeping items. We would like all the medal recipients and award winners to return to the gym immediately after we have a group photo taken, so we'll go out, but you're going to come right back in. As most of you know, there's a reception to follow the ceremony. The reception will take place in the cafeteria about 15 minutes after the ceremony ends. The cafeteria is located just down on the lower level. It's just down past the main staircase. We will also ask the audience to remain standing until the stage procession and guests have left the gymnasium. Graduation 2017 is officially closed. Please join us in singing the Ode to Newfoundland.